Ami khan laga state represent kurigina yadi ami laga osori thaka duita student aro ekta teacher tahan tinjun ami khan laga state represent kurigina New Delhi de pariksha pe charcha itu even ekta tade takan represent kurigina ahishe tade tai khan ami khan laga prime minister Modi ji tai lo dibi interaction kurigina school system oborde itu interaction kurna ahishe aibi ami khan takan laga journey oborde nolebi takan laga bhavna takan laga opinion khan bi jani lobo itia mo laga ide left te thaka do like he's Mr. Rakovi Savio Rokho and then dai class 11 standard te ase from Livingstone Foundation International and orna yede middle de bodu tai anguto sumi ase aro tai bi class 11 de ase aro tai KV school Dimapur de ase and then yede mo laga extreme left te sale do ma'am Kenile Yu Sokre tai do postgraduate teacher ase from Government Higher Secondary School Twingsang, right? Okay. Moi boila janyo mon jado apnian la journey. How was your experience and how was your journey?
So our journey was really amazing. We came by flight and it was a smoothing journey and we were well treated. It was a really fun journey and our experience was really wholesome. We experienced a lot of different things, different cultures, different food and how different people lifestyles are.
How was your experience as well? Prime Minister Modi ji lo de buina nga indirect ro de king ka thak japni.
Actually, my khan in interact and the my experience ko kado like bishi bhal lagishe. Ami khan la honorable Prime Minister Shri Modi ji tai bram ami khan ge bhal kotha khan hikaise exam stress khan kini ga dur kuro lage edu khan bi bishi bhal kotha khan hikaise.
Ma'am, apni bi as a guide and as a mentor tajun lo de jagi na ishe. So how was your experience as well?
Well, the experience was very enriching, knowledge enriching thakiche, aro it was more of a cultural exchange program also because teachers from all across the country gathered together. They escort teachers and the students as well. And since it was all about the gathering of educated, refined young minds, the experience was worth the cherishing, and it will be worth cherishing. And then, I mean, as a community also, as a teaching community, as a parent community, as a student community, how do we grow together? How do we uplift the cause of true education? That was very beautifully presented by Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
Tade jagena ami laga prime minister ke indirect kura homoi de. Like what was the main point or the sector with regards to school system here in our state?
Well, for me, he was equally emphasizing on parents and teaching community and the students as well. So for me, the most encouraging moment was when he emphasized on the digital detoxing, as we were discussing with our students there, because he was giving advice to the parents and teachers to be the role model. Often we are complaining to our learners, our children, that they have to stay away from the smart screen. But then the thing is, as role models, sometimes the parents and the teachers also miserably fail because we are not able to draw a boundary between a healthy digital screen timing. And so he was very beautifully and strongly sending a message to the parents and teaching community that you should use this digital platform not for adding to our stress by losing the balance between having a proper sleep and rest time. Rather, he was saying we should use all kinds of digital platforms to be in touch with the students so that as teachers, we should let the learners feel very free to call us anytime to share about their stress. So I think that was a very strong message for the teachers and the parents on digital detoxing, and as well as, how the students should feel connected with the teachers beyond classroom.
Talking about the digital platforms and technologies, ajikali ami kana bishi internet to be nale technology bishi aina se. So do you think this technology and this internet is helping students perform better in life or in their academic?
I see. So it depends from students to students. Some students use it to enhance their knowledge so that they can learn more, while other students they just use social media to keep their mind off busy, make it a distraction, playing games or watching videos just for fun. So I would like to say that social media is not really a bad thing or a good thing as well. It all depends upon the students how they use it. Yeah.
Mr. Angudo ke ekta hudiung jado COVID time de offline classes off hojise and our online classes introduce kurse. So do you think online classes itu loa do like helpful thagise?
হয় হেল্পফুল থাকিছে কেলে মানে ষ্টুডেণ্টছ বেছিখান অনলাইন ক্লাছেছ জইন কৰা টাইম দিবি লাইক প্ৰেজেণ্টেশ্যন লাইক বৰ্ড খান দি চক পঢ়া লিখিব নাপাৰে নহ'লে বি লাইক ডায়েগ্ৰাম খান বনাব নাপাৰে নাবি থাকিব পাৰে হ'লে বি ডিজিটেলি দেখাই যা প্ৰেজেণ্টেশ্যন এইটো খান দেখাই না মই এখানকে ভাল পৰা ডিটেইলিং পৰা এক্সপ্লেইন কৰা এইটো বেছি হেল্পফুল থাকিছে আই উড চে দে
Ma'am, apni tu government higher secondary school tu sangte posting gurna ase. How long have you been working there?
Well, I've been working there for the past 7 years, and this year, 2024, January 12th, there was an all Nagaland major reshuffle, and luckily the government considered the plight of a mother of two underage sons working in a far-flung area, and now I have been finally transferred to Chumukedima after 7 years of service to Tunsang.
So you've been posted there for 7 years, right? How is the school system out there in Tuingsang? Because we all know ki amikan Nepal sale do iton Tuingsang bi ekta ginar jaga de ase, site de ase. So how is the school system there in Tuingsang?
Well, I would say if any teacher wants to experience the pure bliss of having the most disciplined student in your classroom, one should go and teach the students of Tunsang because they are the most disciplined young minds. And the most touching thing about the Tunsang students is that since I'm a science teacher, for the past 7 years, every batch of students in my class were first generation learners. So that was something of an eye opening experience because those of us who are in the town areas, sometimes, especially the students, they take their blessings for granted. Their parents give them every opportunity, and somebody is there in the family who has already paved the way for the students. But when it comes to the Tunsang science students, they are the trailblazers in their society, in their family, and there is a lot of expectations on their shoulders since they are the first in their family, in their clan, in their village to take science stream. So the stress is doubled. But the best thing is they are ever ready to learn. So beyond classroom transaction also, whenever I wanted to take extra classes, extra free tuitions, extra coaching, they were more than ready to sacrifice their time and stay, and they really revere a teacher who wants to impart quality education. So they are the most cooperative student in my lifetime as a teacher. They were the most disciplined student that I've ever come across.
One ek par sale do we every year we see that the private institutions have been overpowering the government institutions, be it in exams or academic fields. So apni bi like what is that one reason according to you is lagging behind with these government institutions?
Well, honestly, I believe with the government institutions, it's all about dedicated teachers, and then no matter what the challenges are, because as a teacher in a far-flung area, I honestly share this with others as well. We have our share of thorns, we have our share of challenges, we have our share of criticisms. I believe most of the dedicated government teachers are underappreciated. We are not appreciated as per the sacrifices that we make. There's a stigma attached to government teachers that, their salary is double, triple that of a private teacher, but their workload is much less than a private teacher, which is a lie for me because, in fact, when we enter a government classroom, when we enter a government school, the students have nobody. And one challenge that I have lived up to for the past 7 years of my stay in Tunsang was that I was challenged that you can be anything to your learners. You can be a mentor, a guide, a counselor, a nutritionist, but you can never be everything to your learners. But once a government teacher dedicatedly starts teaching in the classroom, we become everything to our learners. We become a nutritionist, we become a counselor, we become a guide. We have to be everything to give them holistic development. So I believe there are many dedicated government teachers, and I represent one of those dedicated government teachers. I represent those dedicated, hardworking government teachers who have gone beyond duty calls to refine those students. And I believe our government higher secondary also created a record by becoming the science secondary to score 100% pass in science stream as well. And two of my students also received governor award at the state level. So I believe if every teacher is doing their bit, and the community should take an active role in disciplining young minds. And even in the many platforms, when I'm the resource person or in any platform in Tunsang as well, I used to thank the community elders because they discipline the students. So by the time they come to our classroom, they are very disciplined. They know they are accountable for their misbehavior, not just to the teachers or the school, but even to the community members as well. So that was one reason our higher secondary ensured smooth functioning. So I believe if any government school is not performing well, we cannot just blame the school head. Or if any government school is performing well, we cannot give credit to the school heads. That is utter, unfair way to credit or discredit somebody. I believe we should give credit to the community members because once the community members take interest in disciplining the students, the school always has a smooth functioning. Yes.
Do you think proxy teachers also play important role in this issue?
Of course, yes. Because at the end of the day, how can a person be absent and expect, the students without teachers to just get polished on their own? We are talking about smartphones. But then I used to joke about this to the private students as well. It is not about Alexa. It is not about Google. It is about having a teacher who can do the role of Alexa for the students. So if that is absent, no technology can ever replace a teacher. Yes.
Uh, আপনি দুজন বি ইমান ইয়াং মাইন্ডস আছে আপনি দুজন বি ইটো জায়গিনা ইটো পৰীক্ষা পে চৰ্চা ইটো জায়গিনা what is that one thing you learn from that this program?
I see. The one thing that I learned from this program is the unique diversity. When I first came into this Pariksha Pe Charcha, I was worried that since we are from the northeast, we look a little different, we might not be accepted from the mainlands. But when we arrived there, we were treated really beautifully by all the states, like we were each other members, that we have known each other for a long time. So that is one of the main thing that I learned. India is actually a really unique diversity country. So it really fills my heart up that I was able to join this program and I got to learn a lot of new things.
Um, this is the same same as in my like maybe idu ko taga diversity culture diversity idu ko taga
두준 B, I really want to know like what your aim in life is.
I see. My aim in life is to be a scientist under robotics department. Yeah.
data scientist.
So we have a young scientist present here with us. Yeah, talking about employment. আপনি দুজন বি obviously দেখি থাকবো like how our state is, right? We have lots of graduate students. We see every year, like students and graduate হয়ে থাকে in our employment rate one last state আপনি আমি জানেন কিনিকা আছে. So what do you think is the problem with regards to this unemployment?
So the regards to this unemployment is this is something which right before leaving for the Pariksha Pe Charcha, even my school teachers discussed about this. So in Livingston, what we do is we not only prepare to face for NGEET or NEET exams, but we also prepare them for holistic education. How to prepare ourselves if we do not get, then what are the different chances? It's not just about education, but as well as discipline. How to discipline yourself, how to make yourself better in every aspects of life. So that is a problem in many schools. We only give about how to score more marks, how to get rank, and then find a job. But it's different now. The world is changing, and we need more of holistic education that improves every aspect of our life.
আপনি observation দে আপনি with regards to unemployment আপনি observation দে like most of young people no be family ra only they only stick with government jobs, right? So do you think this should be like get rid of our one nijor la passion no be nijor one nijor like ki like strong points one la strong points de one la decision de jale bhalo. What is your thoughts on that?
Okay, মই ইটো লগত এগ্ৰি কৰোঁ কেলে মানে মই খান লাভি নিজৰ লা এম ইন লাইফ থাকে নিজৰ লা টাৰ্গেট থাকে এইটো পেৰেণ্টছ খান লা প্ৰেছাৰ লৈ না মই খান এইটো টাৰ্গেট একমপ্লিছ কৰি না হেপী লাইফ নাথাকাটো ইটছ পইণ্টলেছ চ' মই ক'ব মন যাওঁতো চব মানুহকে কি হয় নিজৰ লা অপিনিয়ন বি মেটাৰ কৰে এণ্ড দেন পেৰেণ্টছ ছাপৰ্ট বি মেটাৰ কৰে এণ্ড দেন লাইক ইফ লাইক মানুহ খান জব চাৰি না এইটো লাইক alak grow ko lebi na मैले निजर ओपिनियन बरा को do like freelancing and all. मैले को मन से.
One more question for you. One la state de education system de. Is there anything, any sector de, any site de like where we can improve ourselves?
So, oh, I see. Okay. So in our school system, what can be improved more is for the teachers to give more attention to the students. Now, before joining Livingston, I was in Holy Cross NBSC. Now, in most NBSC, you'll see that there are lots of students in our class, right? One class, 60 plus students, or even 70, and the teachers are not able to give full attention to each and every one of them. So, if by any chance it's possible that the school regulation can be in one class only up to 30 to 40 students, then the teacher can also give attention to each and every one of them, teaching them individually and then helping them in any doubt they have. So I feel like that would be the best way to improve our education system.
अपनी भी इधर point de किनका side से?
ओए इदो maybe को मन जादो इदो most of the students tai को निशना class 30 40 students থাকিলে ভাল like teacher भी concentrate करना ভাল बरा proper हो ओइले भी तादी बरा भी कुनबा खान दो बिशे मानो खान दो like absent हो जाए तो इदो दे মই को मन जादो इदो biometric system school de ekta biometric system থাকিব লাগে so that students can daily regular classes ahina bal percentage para pass hobole na ido mai ido ko mon chase.
Ma'am, I have one last question for you as well. One ek par sale do rural or urban areas to like there's a vast difference, be it in every sector. So, with regards to education system, do you think there is equal opportunity and platforms for this urban and rural areas?
Well, since I'm really into technology and all the digital apps, I would suggest with the coming of online platforms, if there is any complaint that there is any kind of less privilege being given to rural or urban, I would not take that well, because every student, every Naga student, how rich or how poor they may be, somehow Naga parents are so loving that they make sure their children have a smartphone. So with all the educational online apps being opened, like it's almost a decade that I have been in teaching profession, and I believe all these digital tools can equip the students to prepare any kind of international or national exams as well, or even state level exams. So I believe now, because of these digital platforms, the divide between more or less opportunity should not be there anymore, because that boundary has been over now. So there's once upon a time I believe there was a gap because of the distance, because the rural areas don't have proper access to this facility. But with the digital platform, if the students don't avail that to the maximum, I would rather blame the students and the parents, or the lack of the participation of community elders to motivate the students. So I believe with this technological advances, every student is quite tech savvy. In fact, they are more tech savvy than the teachers themselves. So I believe the rural and urban areas have equal platform, because I've been serving for 7 years in rural areas, and yet at the national and international levels I've cracked exams and competitions all exclusively through digital media. So, and I encourage that to my learners, and they're also doing quite well as well. So I believe that kind of mindset has no longer uh, any say in today's world.
So that was in conversation with our young minds here, Mr. Rakho and Mr. Angto, as well as Ma'am Kenny. Tahan bi tahan laga phapna school system la opore, education system opore. Tahan bi tahan laga phapna chanai dishe. We wish you all very best in your life. So keep watching Nagaland News Network for more news updates like this. This is Kermito Nungdi with video journalist Mo.